What's going on, guys? Bel Air here. Today we are on board with the Knapsack himself, JKnaps, a consummate professional and meaning a true example of the word veteran in our esport. If you're familiar with the RLCS, you're certainly familiar with the Canadian Pro. Some consider him one of the best, if not the best of all time, depending on how you look at it. And he has a long track record to kind of go alongside that claim. Has been playing since Season 3 of the RLCS and has more LAN games played to his name than any other player in Rocket League history. He's first with 264 games, which is very impressive considering that nowadays we have more LAN and LAN matches than we used to. Which makes a little more sense when you see that second and third place are Rise with 261, 3 behind JKnaps, and Vatira at third with 247, respectively. There's only 12 players all time who have played 200 plus RLCS LAN matches, and only 5 of them have been above a 1 rating. That's JKnaps, First Killer, Vatira, Atomic, and the aforementioned Rise. And the reason that I started out this video talking about some LAN stats is because this is one of the critical games that sent JKnaps and his OG teammates back to LAN. I think a lot of people had respect for this team before the season, but just given the fact that this roster is a little bit older and none of the pieces are seemingly at their absolute peak of powers, they were, highly regarded, but not really considered to be one of the 4 teams that would be sent to LAN. They surprised a lot of people by making it to the first major of the season after they went 0-3 in Open Qualifier 1. They somehow turned that around and were able to make major. And then it seemed like, okay, that was fun and nice of them to be able to make one, but there's so much talent in North America. Certainly we are going to see somebody else kind of step up to the plate. And while SSG did hop in to secure a spot instead of Luminosity, we have OG Esports and JKnaps, the sharpshooter, making a triumphant return to Major 2. And this game is Game 6 against Shopify Rebellion from the tiebreaker that we had seen recently. So like I said, JKnaps has been playing since Season 3, 24 S-tier tournaments to his name, which is just unbelievable. That's so many S-tier tournaments to be at, and an S-tier is essentially any RLCS sanctioned international LAN event. And there's some other exceptions as well, like your Gamers 8 style tournaments. But JKnaps won last season's Winter Major alongside then teammates on G2, Atomic and Chicago. And they went 3-0 in the groups for a little bit of a history lesson on how incredible that tournament run was. They went 3-0 in their groups. They beat Evil Geniuses, which that roster was one of my favorite teams of all time to root for. They also beat a Team Secret roster who is pretty impressive in South America. And the big win in that group was over BDS, which was the potential, all-timers, the Golden State Warrior-esque winning streak BDS with Monkey Moon, Extra, and Mark by 8. So very impressive win there in groups. They go on to make it to the playoffs, of course. They took down Furia 4-2. They beat Space Station Gaming 4-1. And in the final, they had the series advantage against Team Queso. So even though, what a save by JKnaps, even though they lost the first series in Game 7, in the series reset, they took that one 4-2. What a almost save by JKnaps that one was as well. Took that one 4-2 to end up winning the entire thing. The famous quote from JKnaps where he said, something to the tune of, "People always ask me, what if I don't win another LAN?" And he said, "I guess we'll never know," because he ended up being crowned champion in that. That Team Queso team, by the way, if you're not familiar with that piece of the history of the RLCS, just an incredible lower bracket run. They took down NRG. They beat Evil Geniuses. They beat Furia in 7. They beat FaZe, and then they beat SSG in 7 to even make it to that grand finals against G2. And they had so much momentum. That was the Rise, Joyo, and Vatira Team Queso. Everybody thought that they were going to beat G2. It seemed like it was theirs for the taking, especially after that first series. And yet, G2 prevailed. And that is a testament to JKnaps' professionalism and consistency. Really heads up play there that denied that series-winning goal. But JKnaps has always elevated his teammates, and I think the success of this roster speaks to that as well. And we're going to get a quick finish in this game as Comm is just going to slot one in from distance in this critical game 6 that ended up taking them to 7 and then allowed them to overcome this Shopify Rebellion team. So best of luck to OG. JKnaps looks to add to his legacy in London. I am very excited to see what this roster can do. I've consistently underestimated what they would be able to do and been proven wrong time and time again. So excited to see them at the upcoming event. And what are your guys' thoughts on JKnaps? Where does he rank for you all time? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, take it easy.